I'm really not entirely sure what the sound's going to be like on this, but yeah. Sometimes it's really, really hard to remember that you live in the middle of a capital city of a very large country.
Hello and welcome to the end of day number 27. We are surprisingly close to the end of 1 month of whole food plant-based diet. That is honestly something I never thought I would ever say. So yeah. Tomorrow is going to be day number 28, which means, well, we can count that as a full month. I mean, February's a month, right? It's not exactly the best month to pick, but you know. Day number 31 is actually coming up as well. That day number 31 falls on Friday, so I think tomorrow I'm going to do the, you know, sort of the 7-day retrospective sort of thing. You know, how much I've gained or lost over the past 7 days, etc., etc. But I think on Friday I'll do a, you know, sort of look back over a full month, because I think I've actually done pretty well, pretty decently. It's been surprisingly easy overall. I know I've had points where I couldn't stick with it really, or at least felt like I couldn't stick with it, and yet, despite all of that, despite the occasional slip-ups where, you know, I've had like a single biscuit here, or, you know, I've had vegan pizza or some vegan wraps at a takeout sort of place. Like, despite all of these things, it's been a lot easier to stick to the diet than I ever thought it would be. And when I'm tempted by, you know, meats and stuff like that, which has happened, I'm not gonna lie, it's never been this massive thing that I've not been able to overcome. It's just been, ooh, that looks like it would be pretty good. Oh well, maybe at the end of the month. Because that's, you know, that's my plan. Day number 32 falls on a Saturday. So instead of day number 31, where, you know, I said with Scooter, we'll go out and we'll treat ourselves to whatever she fancies, whatever I fancy. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm also, I've got a little bit of trepidation about it. I'm wondering whether or not I'm going to be really disappointed by things that I used to enjoy. And I imagine I probably am. If, you know, when I had the 5 fries the other week or anything to go by. Let's get on with today. So lunch was, as you can see here, just a quick and easy salad box. The opening sequence there was recorded while we were in a Spielplatz, which is a play area, a play park, in Treptower Park, which is not too far away from my house. It's a really, really nice park, and it's huge, and it's in the middle of Berlin city. Yeah, that was lovely. So after me and the boy had finished in there, after he'd run around like an idiot for around about an hour and a half, and we, you know, had him on the swings and climbing things and jumping off of stuff and throwing himself down the slides. We went to a shopping mall that's nearby, and we went to Saturn, which is Saturn. We had a look for a couple of things. I've been trying to find like a digital dictaphone sort of thing with a 3.5mm jack, so that I can plug this mic into that and record. And unfortunately didn't have any in the store, but I found a couple on Amazon that are fairly cheap and record as MP3 and WAV formats and stuff, which will work with the, you know, the Lightbox software that I've got. So that's a purchase for another day, maybe. For now, I'll keep using the phone for the minute. After that, we went back down onto the ground floor, and we went from there into the basement, because we went into I'm never entirely sure how to pronounce this. Real, one of the two. It's basically real, as we would pronounce it, and it's just a giant shopping mall. It's like a bigger, slightly better Walmart / Asda, I guess. But they've got a massive underground food area, you know, like all the produce and groceries and stuff, all the world foods and everything is down there, and all the baking stuff is upstairs, and toys and alcohol and what have you. So we went in, and I finally found, get this, corn and wheat tortillas. Oh man, I've been looking for those for so long. Every time I've looked for tortillas up until now, all I can find is just, you know, white bread flour ones that are full of oil. These ones, they are around about, for the recipe, I think it's only about 1% oil used in it, which is ridiculous. It's literally like one of the last ingredients on the back of the pack. And I'll be honest with you, when it's that far down, I don't really mind. You know, it would probably take a lot of tortillas before I started actually putting any extra fat on my body. And because it was starting to get a little bit late, Rowan had, you know, ran himself ragged, I just grabbed a big loaf of cornbread, which you can see parts of because I had already torn off a few bits for him. And we shared that salad box. Without any dressing, without any Tabasco. Didn't need it. It was so much nicer than the one that I had the other day. Which then brings us on to dinner tonight. Now, you know, Sigurd came home, got her stuff sorted, the boy was sorted. I came in the kitchen, and on Brian Croc's suggestion, I listened to one of the podcasts that he was featured on, along with Jessica, about their weight loss. Because according to Brian, they name dropped me. And they did. And it was really weird to hear. You know, I've had stuff on Sky TV before, broadcast, you know, in America and the UK. I've worked and done little background jobs for things. I've even been an extra in a full blockbuster release movie. But still, actually hearing yourself referred to by someone else on a program is really, really strange. It's kind of cool though. But now what I've got to do is I've got to go back and find all the other podcast episodes that Brian's been in, and any subsequent ones, because he keeps going back and being interviewed about the progress that he's been making across the entire thing. So I'm definitely going to have to do that. So that's now added to the massive list of board game and card game design podcasts that I listen to. So good times. Yes, anyway, dinner. So I found the recipe on the Potato Strong channel. Will had made like a burrito rice filling mix sort of thing with just black beans and spinach and rice. Now, I completely forgot to buy spinach earlier. So I substituted that with some red bell pepper. Had 4 of those. Now, I did completely forget to take a photograph before I ate them. That's on me. I was really hungry at that point, and I was distracted by chatting with Brian. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an image of what it's like shopping in Berlin. Especially for, you know, snacks and stuff like that. For all that I like marshmallow and wafer and chocolate and stuff like that, I don't really miss it. Like usually it's a little bit of a mouthful. Let's be honest, these things. So without further ado, here is one of the German snacks that we buy. Can you see that? That's right. Super Dickmans. I wish with all of my heart that that is the lowest level that German snack names come to. But it isn't. By a long, long stretch, it is not. So I hope that's given you a bit of a chuckle anyway. There's not really much else going on. I've got plenty of stuff. I even bought tofu today. And I've never cooked tofu before, but I found, I found another recipe on YouTube of how easy it is to do, which is just, press it, slap it in a pan, bit of cumin, flip it, bit more cumin, that sort of stuff. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see whether or not it's possible to cook it without oil. I think it should be, but, we'll experiment. And if all else fails, Sigurd can have it. I don't really think there is anything else. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Today's been a fairly straightforward day. I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to boil the kettle. I'm going to make myself a mug of green tea. I might have an apple. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not particularly hungry at the moment. Those little tortilla burrito wrap things were really, really good. I'm so glad that I've got not only multiple packs of these tortillas that keep forever, but I've also got maybe about another like 6 to 7, maybe even 8 wraps worth of the mix left over. I think what we're going to do is we're going to, just because it makes it a little bit easier for me, I'm not going to go into job number, I think we're up to job number 8, just after I got to Bournemouth. I'm not going to do that today, just because it's kind of anticlimactic. Job number 8, it leads very, very swiftly into job number 9. So instead of going, well, here's half the story, I'll leave it up until tomorrow. We'll do that on day 28. I'm thinking as well, after we run out of the jobs, because we're very, very close to running out of the jobs, after that, I might go into useless skills and talents that have been cultivated over a very, very long period of time. Because that's always an interesting one. And everyone's always got those like 3 or 4 things where, you just don't really expect it from them. And yet, I'm still thinking about it. I'm trying to figure out how I can showcase certain things. Don't worry, it's not juggling. No juggling, no mime. Definitely no mime. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for chatting with me during the day as well, Brian and Jessica. At some point, I do look forward to hearing the lyrics to the Martin's Vlog song that you've come up with. Maybe you can share them with the entire internet, and we can all have a good chuckle. Right, I'm off. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.